All right, well, we here at 9 on Your Side have been seeing images like that for days. Days,
literally since Thursday. We've been on with you nonstop since Thursday morning, and some of our reporters, they lost power outages. They have power outages, lost power, so we had to have phoners with them. We couldn't get, and this is the great part is when we get the power back on, we get daylight, then we get to see the devastation that has happened across the East. I mean, it's just really, they have been right along with you. No food. No showers.
Right. I mean, some of them, Connor Kick said, you know, we packed for days, but I mean, we haven't had a hot meal in days.
Exactly.
And we feel so terrible for them because they're the ones out there, you know, in the field, seeing the damage, talking to people. And I'm sure, you know, while it's so hard to admit sometimes, but I mean, families cry, you cry. I mean, it's very emotional reporting. And just so much, we're so thankful to have such a dedicated team of journalists and reporters, photographers, producers. I mean, we really could not have done this without the group that we have right now.
And you know, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing that folks heeded the advice here of not just the meteorologists, but the local personnel, the local emergency personnel, and evacuated. A lot of folks evacuated because this is, words from the National Weather Service, catastrophic flooding across eastern North Carolina. Eastern North Carolina, all eyes across the nation, prayers and thoughts on folks who've been devastated by this hurricane, which was a Category 1. It was forecast as a Category 4. Some folks decided to stay because it got weakened, but look at this. You know what?
I think it's probably great that it all started as a Category 4 and the threat and the fear was there because it made people think,
you're right.
Okay, well, what if that does hit? I'm not ready for that.
Exactly.
And as you've been saying, and you and David have alluded to for days, that, you know, the category system isn't necessarily...
Maybe, you know, that's not what you need to pay attention to.
Right, exactly.
It's the impact.
Yes. All right. Well, our teams, again, I mean, we have been on air 24/7 coverage for 58 and a half hours.
Wow.
Yeah, and we're doing this for you.
Truly
so
on your side.
Thank you for choosing WNCT, Not on Your Side, as your official coverage station. And we will continue bringing you coverage throughout the rest of this storm because it is not over. And we do want to leave you with some amazing incredible coverage that we've done over the past few days. So again, thank you so much for joining Not on Your Side.
All right, this is WNCT, Connor Kick with an update on some of the damage here in Morehead City. We're going to go ahead and turn this way. This is the Shell station right off of Arundel Street here, and I can tell you that that whole Shell site has been knocked over from Florence's wind, and even worse here, another gas station with
Ferry, the conditions just continue to worsen. I'm having to stand my ground because the winds are coming in so strong. The rain is pouring down on us now. You can see around me the bushes, the trees, everything is just moving with these winds. Take a look at this tree behind me. The wind here in Kinston has totally obliterated this tree. We are here along North Heritage Street and Rhodes Avenue, and this is just some of the damage that we've seen so far here in Kinston.
The winds here in North Topsail Beach are getting strong, and they're going to continue to get stronger throughout the day. We already have sand flying around, and if you take a look behind me, you'll see the waves coming in closer to shore and crashing higher. This is a Category 2 storm, which means we still need to be on the lookout for winds, rain, and those storm surges that we've been talking about.
Here along Arundel Street, it is just miles and miles of devastation. This road, the main lifeline into Morehead City, and we're seeing tree after tree knocked down, including right here at this home. This tree essentially just splitting in half, ripping part of a roof with it, as well as power lines. The entire county of Carteret is without power now, and it will be days before they get it back.
Crash earlier, but we haven't been able to see anything as of yet. It's going to get worse before it gets better.
WNCT's Nicole Newman here. For the past 30 minutes, we've been driving around Kinston trying to survey some of the damage as well as the flooding. Right now, we are on Heritage Street, again, in Kinston. And as you can see, this area right here is flooded. It looks to be maybe about, I don't know, a little more than 3 inches.
Here in Greenville, a lot of the weather has continued to fluctuate, from a lot of high winds to a lot of rain still coming down. But since then, it seems like it's more calm at the very moment. Of course, we know that can change at any given time. But what we want to do for you is show you what we're working with here at the Tar River. For many of you who may not know, Hurricane Matthew did an impact here in the east, particularly in Greenville. And you can see that that water has continued to rise within the last couple of hours since we've been out here.
Hey guys, I am in Washington, North Carolina right now, where many of the roads are shut down like this one because of flooding. Washington sits at the tip of an inlet where the Pamlico River meets the ocean, very similar to New Bern. New Bern also sits where a river meets the ocean, and both of these cities have seen lots of flooding because of Florence. In New Bern, it led to evacuations.
Good evening, guys. Well, the winds are still pretty high and the rain is definitely still coming down, but I want you to take a look at this. It looks like I'm actually standing in a lake, but I'm actually standing on the street. And look, just a few feet behind, there's a light fixture, a light pole that actually fell on the street. But in spite of all of that, the residents that I spoke with here in New Bern were adamant on staying.